hey, I want us to watch 2 videos and then we're going to have a conversation. Okay, here's the first video.
One thing about long-term, like chronic singleness that I have a really hard time explaining to people is this concept of not being anyone's person. And I think often when single people, I've had this conversation with other single people, of course, but like when we try to explain this concept to married people, to our friends who are in long-term relationships, to our families, they seem to think that it's coming from some sort of like self-pitying, woe is me place. And I just want you to hear me saying this for what it is, which is the truth. I am no one's person. I do not have a person. I am no one's first choice. I am no one's first call. I am not the person that someone texts first thing in the morning or last thing before they go to bed. I am no one's, hey, I got home safe. Hey, I'm on my way. There is no one on this planet that exists that is that for me or that I am that for them. I am loved. I am extremely loved. I have friends who love me. I have parents who love me. I have the Lord of this universe that loves me. But I do not have a person or a partner who is my person. And I think people hear this and they think it's coming from some sort of like self-pitying, like, oh, I'm so sad place. But it is objective truth that I am no one's person and I do not have a person. And does that suck sometimes? Absolutely. Like, are there a lot of days that I really wish I had a person where like I go on these really fun solo adventures? I love doing them. They're so fun. Are there days that I like wish I had someone to share it with? Absolutely. I try really hard to romanticize my life and to not let being alone stop me from doing the things I want to do. I travel, I go to restaurants, I go on adventures, I go hiking, I go camping, I go to the beach. I go out in this world because you have to, because otherwise like you're just wasting your life. And I don't know how long I will be single, and I don't want to eventually, if I do get to meet my person, I don't want to meet them and realize that I had all this time that I just wasted and I wasn't really living life and I wasn't growing and becoming the person that I wanted to be before I met them. So I try to wake up every day and I just try to get out there and make the best of this existence that I have. But do I wish a lot of the time that it looked different than it does? Do I wish I had romantic love? Do I wish I had a person? Yeah. Yeah, most of us do. And I don't know how to end this beyond saying that I'm just doing my best. And I love you. And that's it. Okay, bye.
Fantastic. Okay, you got it. Now, here's the second video.
Are you and your son pretty close?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah? And would you consider yourself a pretty involved parent?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So I'm just going to ask you some questions about your son.
Right.
And just answer them to the best of your ability.
I will do, no problem.
Very good.
Yeah.
What is your son's birthday?
No, that's a good one. That's a really good one, because I don't know.
You really don't know his
No,
birthday?
I don't know his birthday.
Do you consider you guys pretty close?
Yeah.
What is your daughter's favorite subject in school?
Social study.
Is that true?
No.
What grade is your daughter going into?
9th grade.
What's the name of your daughter's school?
Ash Creek Elementary School.
No.
River Creek.
No.
Something Creek.
No.
What color are your daughter's eyes?
Brown.
All right, let's look. That is incorrect.
They're blue. I have a brown-eyed daughter, though.
What is your daughter's birthday?
May 17th. Oh, no, it's the 14th, and I don't know what year.
Can you name your daughter's teacher?
Mrs. Jones.
Nope.
Mrs. Moore. Is not Moore?
Nope. That was my elementary school teacher.
Can you name their teachers?
Of course I cannot.
What are your daughter's birthdays?
Why do you do this to me?
What about her?
I give up.
Any guesses?
Yesterday.
Oh yeah, yesterday! Horrible.
Her birthday was yesterday.
Just
You forgot
yesterday, yes.
Can you name the best friend of each of your daughters?
Mari Carmen Rojas, Jimena Lopez, Adamari Lopez, Cristina Cornejo.
Good. Can you give us the name of their doctor?
Fadi Torres.
Good. Can you give us the name of their dentist?
Games Dental Land.
What are your daughters' birthdays?
Yes, May 28, 2009, August 8, 2013, February 24, 2006, June 5, 2006.
Now you might be saying, Shayna, one of these videos is about romance and another one is about family. And I'll say, I hear what you're saying, but I think we could boil this down even more. I think that the true thing that connects these videos is the ideas of care and loneliness. The first video is giving a kind of loneliness that I think a lot of people are experiencing, especially women are experiencing as it relates to not having the idea of a kind of man that you think your friends have, your companions have, as it relates to their boyfriends, their long-term partners, their husbands, their whatever. There is a yearning for an end of that kind of loneliness while also craving a kind of care that they are assuming somebody else has. Now, the other video is the reality of a deep kind of loneliness that a lot of women and their children are experiencing within different kinds of family units. And sure, a lot of the guys that were in the second video were just the dads and their children. But guess what? Those kids realize that their dad does not have that deep sense of care that they assumed that their dad would have for them. Because how don't you know what my eye color is? How don't you know when my birthday is when it was yesterday? And then my mom can just share these things off the top of her, off the dome, right? Things that every parent should just know. Now, there was another video that I was trying to find and I can't find it for some reason that was specific to men and their female partners. And one of them, at this point, also, my laundry is getting ready to go off. So if you see me gotta sprint, that's why. But there was one that was specific to men and their female partners. And in that video, I remember that there was a guy, they were asking like, hey, does your partner have any allergies? And the guy said, absolutely not. And then the woman said, I am deathly allergic to penicillin. And he basically laughs and says, oh, right, my bad. She could have died. Now, I deeply understand wanting to be partnered. I also think I would like to be partnered. I know how I am in relationship when the relationship is good, and I've enjoyed that experience of me. I would like to experience it more, but guess what? I also know the reality of the brood of men that we have at this moment in time. And married or not, honestly, I have such amazing friends that I would keep them as my emergency contact. I don't know what kind of man would need to show up in my life for me to be like, no, he's my emergency contact over my friend where we are synced up via dreams. And menstrual cycles. Mind you, she lives in the United States, I'm in Thailand. This also makes me want to talk about this specific thing that I saw. So this is a quick screen cap. I'm not going to be playing the entire video, but this comment is what I really want to be talking about. So he was basically on some Reddit. Oh, got a cough. Excuse me. So he was on a subreddit that was basically like people, I don't know, I guess arguing, trying to debate certain things. And somebody brought up this comment that was basically like, hey, prove me wrong. There's nothing to be proven wrong. This is absolutely correct. The only difference between romantic and platonic love is attraction. 10 out of 10 agree. A lot of people think that there's some like secret sauce that comes to being in a romantic relationship, like a kind of feeling, a kind of whatever that you could never experience with somebody else, and it's only held in romantic relationships. And I'm just like, I don't think that you're taking your platonic relationships as seriously as they need to be taken. Also, bringing it back to like the whole nuclear family conversation, I don't want to necessarily be one person's world. I don't want to have so much solely dependent on one person, because we were never supposed to live like that. Community is so important, and the idea of the nuclear family, of the one true love, of a man coming in and changing everything in your, that's it's removed us so far from the importance and the value of being able to see and commune and build with one another, and really focused it on like, what do I have, what is my resources, and love and like attraction, especially in this world where like between like capitalism and who has and who doesn't have, and who you're paired up with will determine what you do and don't have, and like, oh, I just don't want to end up like that, and what if I don't have these kinds of resources, and like the beauty standards and who's able to get those kinds of resources. We have really, really lost the plot as a species. And this is not to say that like having a wonderful community will remove that want that a lot of people have for romantic love. Listen, I get it. Sometimes, like, some people really, really want their person or to have a romantic partner. I get that. I'm not saying that that's all of a sudden going to disappear one day, but I am saying that, like, to say that I don't have a person, to say that I don't have an emergency contact, to say like, it's one thing to be look at a romantic partnership, it's like, I think I would like a romantic relationship, but to like, there's a kind of loneliness that is also like interwoven into this kind of conversation, that I go, there are so many women that are yearning for a thing that does not necessarily exist, or that exists very, very, very rarely. And then a lot of those women end up in relationships thinking that it will either become that thing, or the kind of loneliness that that woman is experiencing in the first video. There are people that experience it in marriage, in parenthood, in long-term partnership. And unfortunately, more people experience that in these long-term partnerships than don't, which is why it is so important to invest in your community, to invest in your friendships, to invest in the people around you, so that way you don't have so much dependent on this person that you're hoping will fill in all of these slots. And by and large, like, especially if you're a woman that's attracted to men, they generally were not taught the skills, do not have the skills to be able to meet their own emotional needs. So how are they going to be able to show up in the way to like fully meet and recognize yours? And while I do know some women that are in relationships with men where he is able to meet them in a capacity where a lot of her, not all, but a lot of her emotional needs are met, going into wanting a relationship with a man assuming that you are going to be the exception to that rule, I cannot recommend that, which is why I always recommend community first. Prioritize community first, especially before, if you want to start looking for your own special booga out there. I'm not saying do whatever you want to do. What I am saying is, before you start looking for your own special booga, please make sure, secure your own face mask. And the way to do that is to have a solid community. Make sure that you have a support system. Don't throw them to the wayside when you do find a potential booga that you're like, ooh, I'd love to spend the rest of my whatever with you. Don't throw away that community. They are your face mask. Because if heaven forbids you run into a specific kind of, what is it called, a like medical emergency, and then you have some man on as your emergency contact, and then they ask him, what was she last wearing, and he says, I don't know, something hot, and you don't have somebody else that they can call, girl,